what I thought I would do is I'd give you a little bit of an overview of the STC and what we've been up to in the 12 months or so since we last met. So very pleased to announce that we've grown our membership to over 170 companies now. Also in the last 12 months period, we've made over 100 one-to-one introductions between those members to encourage them to collaborate. We ran 23 events for more than 690 people, so we had an average of 30 people per event, which I think is pretty good. And we've also been building our online network where we've got well over 4,500 LinkedIn followers now. But interestingly, we've also generated nearly 49,000 web profile views. So all of our members have a directory entry on our website, and obviously we track all the stats for that. But over the past 12 months or so, we've had nearly 49,000 views of all of those profiles. So quite a lot of attention to quite a lot of our members, which is obviously a great thing. In the 12 months, we've also launched a video podcast, which is called Ask the Expert. So we launched that sort of earlier this year. We're releasing that on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. 6 episodes have been released so far. You get a little sneak preview on what the 7th episode will be. There's another 10 in release. And again, it's something that we work together with members where they have the opportunity to do podcasts with us. So again, this is not a sponsored or sold opportunity. It is us working with our members for our members to have the opportunity to relay their expertise and inform the rest of the industry. Another thing that we've done, because a lot of you may remember that back in 2023, we actually announced a skills work stream to what the STC does. So originally, we were all about promotion, thought leadership, and support. We added skills to that at the back end of 2023. That was a program that we needed to attract funding for, which we managed to do. So we managed to obtain UK SPF funding from West North Hands Council. So I want to thank our friends at West North Hands Council for supporting us there. Georgetech and Advanced Engineering themselves have supported as well. So that's all very generous. And we promised what we would deliver, which was obviously the primary engineer program, expanding the Silverstone Park schools program, as well as a placement program, a new starter program, and an educators and industry forum. And so we managed to do all of that, and it roughly looked like that.
The children have been working on building their vehicles for the past half term or so.
It was really good, it's fun, there's activities everywhere, it's just so much fun.
Primary Engineer, we're a not-for-profit. We exist to inspire pupils to want to be engineers and follow that career.
This is fantastic. They provided all the kit for us, which was amazing. The school didn't have to pay for anything. It was all provided by the great sponsors that they have in partnerships, and the kids are having a fabulous time.
There is a massive skills deficit in STEM and engineering. So hopefully days like today encourage students to pursue those sorts of careers.
Less than a third of engineers are girls, so it's our job to let these girls be exposed to it.
I haven't really experienced engineering before. I knew a bit about it, but I've learned a lot more today.
We're trying very hard to engage with students who are 16 plus because this is the point in their education where they're thinking about their future career, and it's really important that we provide them with opportunities to see those businesses in their local area.
I really enjoyed today. I think it gave me a lot of insight about things like engineering. I thought that the career path had to be rigid, but a lot of these people showed me that it can be a bit more fluid. You don't have to be set on one career already. Now I think I have more set careers that I want to look into.
This is about how we can assist businesses to pipeline future talent into their businesses and look at, where are those early careers opportunities and what student schemes can only help them to populate their workforce from the ground up and then obviously hopefully become their next generation of team leaders.
It was definitely awesome for them to put on. So nice to see a lot of young people at the event, so many people to meet, so many different areas within the industry to experience as well.
That's what we need to have. We need to have these young people coming into these kind of environments, seeing what's going on and talking about their experiences. Really important that we invest in the future and encourage more people to get involved.
So that gives you a flavor of the programs that we've run, and the aim of what we're trying to achieve is that throughout, if you will, a student's lifetime, so from primary school all the way through secondary school and them on the cusp of starting their career, is that we keep them informed, inspired and motivated for careers in STEM and careers in engineering. Now, obviously, as it's government funding, that comes with a number of metrics that we need to adhere to. I'm very pleased to report that we exceeded them in virtually all stats. So obviously, fantastic that we've engaged with the numbers that you can see on the screen. But well over 1,000 people and youngsters engaged with, which is obviously fantastic to do that. I'm also very pleased to announce that again through West North Hants Council, and again many thanks to you, we've managed to secure some funding to continue this program into this year, which is obviously fantastic. We are looking for additional funding to see if we can expand it, not just in terms of the activities that we do, but also in the regional spread that we do. So if there's anybody around that wants to put some money towards the future of engineering, then please come and talk to us. The other bit that I kind of wanted to cover with my presentation was the results of our State of the Nation survey that we did in Q1 of this year. It was very much the aim to identify challenges that our businesses are facing, mapping out their business performance and provide insights to our membership as well. I mean, obviously, the more information that we receive from our members, the more the better we are placed to assist them with whatever it is that they need. So obviously the report gives you various insights that I'm about to talk you through as well, and actually the report will be made available to all of our members via the members area on the website that you'll all have access to. So just to kick off, I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about the relevancy of the questionnaire. So on your left, you can see the makeup of the STC membership, and then on the right, the makeup of the respondents from this. So you can see that it's reasonably evenly distributed, but obviously we're missing the three sections of the largest turnover bands. So I would argue that it's fairly representative if we bear in mind that we're missing the three largest turnover bands, who for whatever reason elected not to reply. But then if we look at the sector, so we obviously ask all of our members to tell us the top 3 sectors that they operate in. We've done the same with the responses of the questionnaire. And interestingly, the top 5 sectors that everybody indicated were exactly identical, but obviously with a slightly different distribution. So obviously within the STC membership makeup, automotive is quite large, and it's slightly smaller in the respondents. And then obviously, you could argue that in the questionnaire, automotive is slightly underrepresentative and defense is slightly overrepresentative. But on the whole, the fact that the top 5 sectors are the same for both sets, I think is interesting and obviously makes it highly relevant. So if we then look at some of the questions that we asked, so we asked a question on whether they felt that the cost of goods and materials that they need to produce, what it is they're producing, whether that has gone up in the last 12 months, or whether or whether they anticipate that going up over the next 12 months. So you can see the results there. Unquestionably, costs have increased for almost everybody. Almost everybody feels that the cost will increase further or again, and only a small percentage says the same. What is quite interesting, if you compare that to the question that we asked about their own pricing, to see whether that has increased over the last 12 months or whether they expect it to increase over the next 12 months. And it's quite interesting to know that despite the fact that the costs have gone up for virtually everybody, there's only a certain section of people that elect to raise their prices in turn. So there's actually quite a few companies that are electing to observe the cost increase, which I thought was quite an interesting thing to note. So if we then sort of look at the turnover and the headcount figures, what we're kind of seeing is a very positive outlook, because if we look at the last 12 months, which is the yellow bar, then turnover has increased for a certain number of people, but largely stayed the same. But 90% of people expect that turnover to increase next year, so they obviously have quite a positive outlook on that. It's interesting to know that nobody thinks that turnover is going to decrease, even though there was a percentage of people for whom that turnover has decreased over the last 12 months. Headcount is kind of similar. There's a number where it has actually decreased over the last 12 months in terms of headcount, but there's virtually nobody that feels that will continue. Instead, the majority of people think it's going to stay the same, and there's actually quite a few people that are looking at increasing that. So overall, I think that's actually a fairly optimistic outlook over the next 12 months, which is obviously quite positive. We asked people about their business challenges as well. So, sort of utilizing a word cloud thing, you can obviously see the main elements there. But 50, half of all the respondents said that the slowing of the UK economy was their the major reason for things being on a downturn. We also asked them questions about recruitment and stuff. Interestingly, 38% said it was harder. 62 said it was the same as before, but admitted that was still pretty hard. So, it's not looking very good in that sort of regard. And that's very much why we do things like the Skills Initiative to, broaden that pool and make sure that we've got more people coming in. One of the things that I wanted to cover as well is that we talked to people about export. And it was interesting to know that 47% of the respondents are exporting, and on average they export 33% of their total turnover, which I thought was quite significant. When looking at whether their export has increased and when they feel whether they feel it would increase, nobody feels that it's actually going to decrease. Quite a few people think it's going to stay the same, but there's 1/3 of people that actually think that it's going to increase over the next 12 months. So very much sort of an active area. We then asked them about their primary target markets as well. So obviously USA, Europe and Japan are the top 3 markets out there for the companies, which is quite interesting to note. And then one of the things that we also asked is that given some of the percentages that we've seen, would our people be interested in the STC doing an initiative dealing with export specifically and looking at that and trying to help people? 81% of respondents said that they would like for that to happen. And then we asked them, well, what sort of stuff should we do that would actually be helpful? And as you can see from the scoring, the top 3 elements there is all about, insights, networking opportunities and strategies. And so I'm quite pleased to announce that over the next 12 months or so, we will be launching the STC Export Forum, where we're looking to bring people together with the aim to do exactly that, what we've listed in the top 3, and help people on their export journey and help them progress further. So that's kind of it from me as a very quick sort of overview on the STC in terms of who we are and what we do. And hopefully that's been just enough for everybody to let lunch settle down. So we now can get over with the rest of the program. I mean, obviously, if there's anybody who has any questions with regards to the STC or anything to do, please feel free to contact me or anybody in the team, and we'll be delighted to help you.